What up, man? It's your big brother, K-Rino. And let a few people get in here before I really express my real feelings about this topic I got tonight. Because, man, it's I won't say it's getting hard for me to watch and look at social media, but because it's part of what I do, I got to glance at it to kind of see what's going on and try to keep up. It's kind of like watching the news, watching TV. You got to glance at it just to kind of see what's going on in the world. But if you don't figure out a way to detach your emotions from the things that you see on social media and even from some of the things that you just hear, then you'll find yourself frustrated a lot of times. Um, One of the most consistent themes that we've seen throughout our time here in America as Black people is the presence of individuals among us who will give the appearance that they down with us, but they are willing to sell out for the first little piece of money, first little piece of position, the first little piece of nearness or status. You would be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be, at how many individuals that I can speak for myself that I've seen over the years, people that I've respected, people that I have learned from, looked up to, and then all of a sudden, one day, you see it happen to them. Or, not to use the word you see it happen to them, you see them do it. Because something that happens to you, it just happens. You may not have had any control over it. But when you do something, that's something that you actively had control over and that you imposed your will upon. So when you see Black folks of power and position, or what we perceive to be power and position, because a lot of them ain't got no power or no position, that's why they selling out, because they trying to get to what they think is power and position, but they are in love with an illusion. And when I say that they're in love with an illusion, I simply mean that you are enamored, infatuated, and thirsty to be a major part of a world that's on the way out. So if somebody told you, and you can answer this question if you want to, because I know some of y'all are real sarcastic. But if somebody say, "Hey man, here's a car," but this car is gonna go out. This car is gonna break down any day now. We don't necessarily know the day, but there are so many things going on with this car that it could happen at any time. This car could break down and you'll be stuck at any day. But I'm gonna give it to you, and you can make the decision of whether or not you still want to just literally, like they say, just ride it till the wheels fall off, or you can say, "Well, nah, I don't think I want to take a chance in taking that car. Why don't I use my time to try to work towards getting a better car, a secure car, a more dependable car, a new car, more reliable car?" There are too many people that would jump in the car that they say is going to break down any day. Yeah, but they gave it to me. But they are handing you damaged goods. So this is the mindset, to me, of a lot of our so-called leaders who, year in and year out, young, old, male, female, Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, whatever. Too many times we see them try to dance that same dance because they see an opportunity to get in the door. And a lot of times, these are some of the same people who have been giving the appearance, or maybe if they wasn't, maybe if it was a time that they were sincere about their movements. These are some of the same people that was on the front line fighting against oppression, was speaking against oppression, speaking as if they were opposed to the oppressive forces, right? But the second that a chance presents itself to be in that house with the slave master, they drop everything. But you're dropping everything to move into a house that's collapsing. And I can't say that I don't understand. I do understand it. Not that I agree with what they're doing. I just feel like I know why they're doing it. And there's a couple of reasons that are layered. Sometimes you can be intelligent, but you can still be a dummy. Sometimes you can be knowledgeable, but having knowledge doesn't mean you have wisdom. You can still be bought and sold for the right price or the right opportunity. Now, I'm struggling right now because I really don't want to say names, but this topic was inspired actually by something that I saw online as it relates to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So if I don't say names, I have to clarify this to let y'all know Farrakhan ain't the one that's selling out. I want y'all to think that. But it amazes me how even in, well, not, it doesn't amaze me, but it's amazing and it's impressive, to be honest with you. It's actually impressive that the minister remains to be the litmus test for Black advancement in the United States of America. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I know in this country, your ascension in certain fields of society, your ascension or your descension, your success or your failure is predicated on whatever your opinion is as a Black person of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And this has been going on. This is nothing new to people who know. Maybe new to people who don't know. Just listen and try to figure it out. But the question is, Well, before I go into the question, what do I mean when I say the litmus test? If you want some of white folks' money, like the big money, not the crumbs, you can get the crumbs. You can get the crumbs on your own. Crumbs ain't hard to get. But if you want that cake, you want that cake with the weight to it. There are certain people in this nation that you are forbidden by the powers that be to affiliate yourself with. Not only are you forbidden to affiliate yourself, you are also forbidden in walking on the borderline just to even speak a kind word about that person. You may not even know them personally, but because that person is considered to be an enemy to the one who you're trying to get next to, you have to make a decision and a choice to decide, should I say that name? Even if you support that person. Now, there are many people who fit that description of being a person who the government has a problem with, the media has a problem with, uh, certain organizations, Jewish organizations, have a problem with. There are a lot of people who fit into that category, but none of them, well, let me say it like this. There are a lot of them who fit into that category, but at the top of the list, the leader of the division, by far, is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Nobody is close. And the reason why nobody is close is because as great as some of the others might be, they don't pose the threat to the system that the minister poses. Intentions might be good, but they don't have the base. They don't have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding, and more importantly, they don't have the divine protection and the backing of God Himself. At least not that connected. I can't say God ain't supporting them, but they ain't that connected. And they don't have, in a lot of cases, the courage when the heat gets turned up. See, that's how you know who's who. You know who's who when the heat gets turned up. Because we could stand and talk and we can do all that. We can just put our chest out and stand on our soapbox, come on these platforms, and we can do all that and go hard in the paint. But when the heat gets turned up, when you get a phone call, when you get a knock at the door, when you get approached, however it comes to you, the email or whatever, a text, whatever, however it comes to you. Now let's see how rah-rah you are now. And we've seen a lot of our activists, a lot of our leaders, a lot of our celebrities that they will come out strong. We come out strong, bold. They'll make it could be just one statement. It doesn't even have to be a lifetime of work where we say, oh no, he's an actor. He might not be an activist. He may have said one thing in a moment that was so real and everybody got behind him. But as soon as they came for him, oh no. Now, when you talk about Minister Farrakhan, He has endured so many attacks that we literally, I'm sure there's a fact checker out there that could get the exact number, but I have no clue. And the difference between the attacks that he endures compared to the attacks that we might endure, he's being attacked by the top shelf attackers, the top shelf powers, those who have the power to silence you, those who have the ability and who have shown the ability to remove you, whether they silence you through fear and intimidation, whether they silence you through the threat of losing livelihood or position, money, or whether they silence you physically through assassinations and other means. We've seen this nation in action. But when you revert back in thought to that divine protection that I talked about, if nothing else, if you don't believe a word that the minister says, if nothing else, you would have to be a fool to not at least question and say, well, man, why haven't they been able to get him? Why can't they get him? He be on their head so hard, but they can't get him. And you know they want him. So I know what some of y'all are thinking, because I can read minds from time to time. Sometimes I can read minds. Some people will say, well, now they ain't got him because he's working with them. You know, he works with them. If he works with them, then he's doing a bad job. He's doing a poor job. Because if he's working with the powers to perpetuate their agenda against us, yet he's steady raising up and waking us up by the thousands, then he's not doing a good job of selling out. He got to go back to sellout school. It's not working. So that little theory don't make sense. And the ignorant will speak and say that from time to time. But they turned the heat up on him so many times. But ain't no heat in existence like the kind of heat that the God can put on them. And the minister has reversed the hold too many times. They got the minister in a hole, and he do something in reverse, and now he got them in a hole. That don't happen by accident. So here he is, really the only, I'm gonna say it, the only true black leader we got left. Anybody that we might even think about, they are dead and gone, or they ain't got the juice that he got. He's the only one. And that's just my feeling about it. It's nobody else but Minister Farrakhan. So to really lock in on the topic, the rewards of this world, when you don't have an understanding about that car I told you that's breaking down that they offering you, or that house they offer you that where the roof's caving in and the foundation is jacked up, but you still say, yeah, I'll move in that house. When you don't have an understanding of that, but yet you claiming to be conscious, Yet you claiming to be in tune with the plight and the needs of Black people, yet you're trying to get inside of the burning house to play the game with everybody that's in the house that's getting ready to get burnt up. And you're afraid to mention the name Farrakhan on TV and publicly, and because you know that name can threaten your run. But instead of saying, hey man, well, my run just got to get threatened, because I'm not gonna sell out on a man who's never sold us out. That is like the worst. That's like the lowest. And you put yourself in a bad position also, because you will never be successful when you got that kind of spirit. You may think that you climbing the ladder because they'll bring you up. They'll let you have the spot. They'll let you have the position because you was a good boy. Good boy. Told you to go on TV and denounce him, and you denounced him. You did it. Good boy. And pat you on your head like this. Good boy. Good boy. Remember when that TV show used to go off and the thing and say, sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. Oh. Y'all might be too young to remember that. But they'll bring you up. Yeah, you come on up. Come on in now. Yeah, he did. Hey, this is him right here. He did a good job. We had him on the news. We had him on CNN, Fox. We told him, hey, man. And he did it. But as I said on another video I made yesterday, they will throw you away when they throw at you, man. You like a prostitute that only serves one purpose to what they call the John, and these days they call them the trick. Or it ain't got to be a prostitute. You may just be a naive woman who fell for the wrong dude. And as soon as he got what he wanted out of you, he was done. And you tried to offer some more. He still didn't want it. He done with you. He done. You served your purpose. All these Black people that cater to this, I hate keep using the word system, but I guess it's what it is. Just call it for what it is. They do everything they can to prove loyalty. They get on TV and denounce their own people. Talk about us like a dog. Look just like us. Look just like us. They have what they have in a lot of cases because of the support of Black people. And they still will be like, nope. I know I'm Black. Some of them may not even profess to be Black, but I want to be up there. I want to be up there with boss. And they do it time and time again, only to be kicked out the house at some point because your services are no longer needed. So all of the people who will say, people who believe in scripture, you ain't got to be religious. Man, I don't believe in religion. Okay, well, if you may not follow organized religion, but if you believe in the scriptures and the prophets and the principles that they taught, many of us will say, man, if I was back in the days walking when that one was walking around, when that one was walking. We say that a lot about Jesus. Man, if I was in the times of Jesus, I'd have been right there with him. Let's say Peter's going to deny you 3 times. I'm sure Peter was like, no, I ain't. And then did it anyway. Many of us would be like, man, I would never do that, man. I don't care what's going on, man. I would never, I'll stand right there. We say that about our homeboys and our homegirls and sell out. Man, I would never leave you stuck out, man. If one of us fight, we all fight, man. I'll never let nobody jump on you. As soon as it pop out, I'm sorry, man. I ain't want to get jumped on. So you definitely wouldn't do it for the prophet. You definitely wouldn't do it for the man of God, the messenger of God, because somebody help me with these scriptures, man. I know them in my head, but I don't always quote them accurately. But Jesus says, what do you say? If you haven't done it to the least of us, you haven't done it for me. If you haven't looked out for the least of us, then you ain't looked out for me. Now I hooded it out a little bit, but that's the basis of it. Somebody could give me the accurate words, but as another scripture that I do know, it says, how can you love God who you've never seen, but hate your brother and sister who you see every day? So why am I saying all this? I'm saying this because a lot of us talk that talk like we really down. Like we'd have been there when let's go back to when Martin Luther King was around. It wouldn't have been, I'd have choked one of them dogs who'd tried to bite me. I'd have been fighting with them cops. They'd have tried to hit me spray me with a water hose. A lot of us say that, man. I'd have been right there with Malcolm. I'd have been with Harriet Tubman. And I'd have been one of the ones trying to help get away. See, because Harriet Tubman had you had slave rebellions, right? Back in the times of slavery, there were slave rebellions, but you also had rebellions against the slave rebellions, meaning that you had slaves that were like, I ain't going, and would even go so far as to tell it. See, you couldn't have the wrong slaves in the room where we was planning the escape. If it's 15 of us in the room and we trying to set up the escape, it's 1 or 2 of them that's gonna go tell it. They gonna sit in there like, yeah, we gonna do it. All right, y'all. 4 o'clock in the morning, we out of here. It's gonna be one of them that go back in their house and tell massa what's getting ready to happen for certain reasons. It could be because they scared. I just don't want nothing to happen to us. I don't know. Y'all don't, please, y'all don't run. Don't run. Or it could be they just some sellouts. They trying to run. I'm going to move up. I'm going to get out this field and get in this house. When I tell Massa what they getting ready to do, Massa going to love me and he going to let me in this house. Well, he might. But you ain't going to last. So that's who we are today, man. And y'all who think like that, see a man like Minister Farrakhan and run the same play. I mean, it's like, that's why I said it's amazing, but it's not amazing, because it's like It's the same play, man. How many times are y'all gonna let these folks punk y'all out of position? How many times, man? I would love to see one of these cats who we might think is bought and sold and paid for. I would love to see them get on TV and just go in. Like I went in on the song, I Apologize. Y'all never heard that song, go listen to it. It's on YouTube. To just make it seem like they gonna get up there and follow the script and then just unload. See, that's why people like me, you'll never see me on a big platform like that. You'll never see me on a big forum like that. Because I'm true to the bone with it, bro. And they would hear the name Farrakhan so many times they had to go to a commercial. They'd be like, okay, look, man, we get it. I understand. I'm like, all right, man, my bad. I'm sorry, my fault. Okay, roll it. Let's go. Okay, and action. So anyway, man, Mr. Farrakhan, right? Bruh. But it's disappointing, not surprising, but disappointing how people that you just never would have saw it coming, then they do the same thing. But when that happens, it's a sign and an example to teach us that you can never put it past anybody to sell out. Now, that doesn't mean that anybody will sell out. There are a lot of people that would never sell out, but you can't put it past them because they got the little knob. It's like, is that hot? Can you stand that? Oh, yeah, I can stand that. My feet good. Turn up a little bit more. Can you stand that? It's a little hotter, but I'm good. I can take it. Can you stand that? Oh, let me try it. It's hot. Oh, I got to get off. But if some people, they'll stand there, man, feet burning. You ready to get off? I ain't getting off. See? Took him a long time to whoop Kunta Kinte before he finally said Toby. And even when he said Toby, they didn't break him. He just got him off him for a minute because he still ran away. They chopped his foot off. They still didn't break him. And we have invested mentally, emotionally, some cases spiritually. We have invested into the United States of America in belief that this system will somehow, which is never done, but magically tomorrow, America's going to just up and just become this wonderful, beautiful nation that's going to become so loving and freedom, justice, and equality for everybody. Ain't done it yet. In centuries, they haven't done it, showing no signs of doing it. Every day, it shows you more and more that they're not going to do it. Arguing and fighting and begging for reparations for years and years and years, and we steady see everybody else getting it. But the second they put two more candidates in front of us and said, here's your food, pick which one you want to eat. We're going to be right there talking about, oh, I got him. He's going to be the one. He's going to be. We sick. Something wrong with us. There's something wrong with us. There's something wrong with us. We in love with a world that's on the way out. And to see people sell out a good man. Farrakhan is a good man. People will sell out a good man because those interests, the interest that you have in what they got for you, my bad, what they got for you, because they don't really have, America ain't got nothing for itself. I asked this question another time. I'm gonna ask it again. Somebody may have the answer. What's the national debt in America now? How many trillion is it? Where's the national debt in 2023? Give somebody time to look that up. 32 trillion? That sounds about right. So a nation that's $32 trillion in debt, and that is literally owned by China and other nations, how they gonna do right from a financial aspect by black people who happen to be the people that they hate the most out of everybody on the list? Said too damn much. And why would we believe that anybody is going to come in and have the power to fix that? Can't fix it. It's unfixable. It's unfixable. This nation is on life support. And you could be a proud American all you want. That's cool. Some of y'all may have a reason to love America and be proud. America may have been great to you. So you may have a valid reason to say, well, man, I'm a proud American. This is my country. That's cool, right, man? I ain't gonna argue with you. There are other of us on the other side of the equation, though. But whatever side of the coin that you own, whatever position you take as it relates to love, hate, in between, it's not stopping the fact that America is on life support, that America is falling. No matter how much you love it, it's on the way out. No matter how much you stand at the baseball game and God bless America, land that I love. You can sing it all day long. You can sing the national anthem. You can sing no racist national anthem song all day long. It's on the way out. So for us, our best bet is to get out the way and let God and Satan go and fight it out. Y'all remember, what was the movie? What was that Players Club? Man, what movie was that where the dude walked in and say, man, everybody that don't want to die, get out. And everybody started clearing out, and then the people that stayed got tore up. That's kind of how America is right now. It's God saying, like the scriptures say, come out of her, my people. Like, get out the way, man. Move. Get out the way. So you won't get caught up in the mix. Because God taping his hands up right now. He's putting on his gloves. Got a hurricane finna hit California. When have you ever in our lifetime seen a hurricane hit California? We normally get the hurricanes down here where I'm at. Bruh, listen to me, man. When you sell out your people, bro, whatever it is that you were trying, whatever it is you sold them out to get, you already lost it. Even if you get it, you already lost it. And you already lost, period. Because it's easy to punk out. It's very difficult to stand next to a man who the powerful people in the powerful nations of the world hate, and you standing right there next to him. You ever been with one of your friends or something, and it's like a bunch of people in the neighborhood coming out against him? It's like 15, 16 people. They went, oh, yeah, why are you talking? And then you see it's like 2 or 3 of y'all standing there. That's hard. You stand, you just like, oh, because you don't know what's going to happen. But whatever happens, I'm going to be right here with him. Or they're going to be right there with you. See? But the reward, the real reward, not the reward of this world, but the real reward sits in the hands of the person who stands solid on the truth. See, that's why they make so many black people apologize all the time, man. They playing with y'all. They got the little thing. I guess it ain't puppet strings no more. We'll come into the modern day. They got the little game remotes. They got y'all on game remotes, man. Because they can just move you around like how they want to move you around. But the real reward comes to the one who stands solid in the face of the fire. Because this is a world that has already shown its hand. It's already shown its corruption. It's already shown its thievery. It's already shown its pedophilia. It's already shown its economic incompetence. It's already shown its lust for love, for blood, and warmongering, creating wars and stealing, overtaking nations to steal their resources. Already shown this. It's already shown its enslaving mentality. It's already shown all of this, man. Greed. So how can that kind of credit line be built up and at no point do y'all think that credit, that bill has to be paid at some point? It's going to be called as some. You done ran up, America done ran up the tab, man. America has run up a hell of a tab. You think the tab ain't never got to be paid? Now, delusional Americans, not all, but delusional Americans are just arrogant Americans, hard-headed Americans. They may not be deluded. They know better. They just won't give it. They say, my country, right or wrong. They carry themselves like America can do no wrong, and it hasn't done any wrong. And whatever wrong it did, it was for the good of where we are now. It had to be done. What do you mean? You mean destroying other people had to be done. Your success had to come at the expense of other people, at the bloodshed of other people, at the loss of life and the loss of culture of other people, the loss of knowledge and education and self-awareness. All that as long as we're successful as a nation, that's what had to happen, and that's good because it benefited you. What kind of thought process do you have? Are you a devil? You can't dismiss our plight. You can't do it. We're not going to let you do it. America wouldn't be what it was, all the way to the point where you actually have people now who are trying to water down slavery, trying to water it down. Well, it wasn't really as bad on the slaves as it's been written out to be. How you know? Was you there? Bet you asked the slaves how bad it was. They tie a rope to one leg and tie a rope to another leg and tie the other end of each rope to a horse and hit the horse and make the horses take off and split a black man in half. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Burn him alive. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Castrate him or cut his testicles off. Oh, it wasn't that bad. The Irish got enslaved. It wasn't the same. Not the same thing. None of that never happened to the Irish. We were slaves. No, you wasn't slave. You were indentured servants. You didn't go through what blacks in the transatlantic slave trade went through. Miss me with that. Let's play. Nobody went through what we went through. Oh man, this is a beautiful baby you just had. Oh wow, yeah, I'm so happy. Hey, let me get that baby. We're getting ready to sell it. We'll sell it. Somebody in Virginia need this baby. Let me get that baby off you. It ain't never happened to you. Slavery wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Let's play. Y'all want to play? Let's play. So that's a tab that's being built up. That's a tab that America's built up. That tab got to be paid. Who gonna pay it? Who gonna stop it? One of these presidents gonna stop it? Nah, he ain't gonna stop it because he benefits from it. It's a game. Better recognize what you are involved in. So all those who want to sell out a good man because they don't like him. Well, we don't really like Farrakhan, and we know you trying to get in good with us. So we're gonna need you to go in on him a few times to just show us. And I ain't gonna say the name, man, because number one, he ain't the only name. He's just the latest name. But he ain't the only name. This ain't brand new. This is not a new play. This is like the pick and roll. Pick and roll, the oldest play in basketball. The pick and roll is the oldest play in basketball. So if I set a screen and then I roll to the basket, the guy passes, I lay it up, and everybody goes, "Oh my God!" You've never seen basketball, so everybody else is like, "That's the pick and roll." So this is not a new play. So the person that's in my mind right now, they're not the first one. It's just funny how they continue to run the same play. What do they have to offer you that's better than what reward God can give you for not being a sellout? Should we even receive an award for not being a sellout. It should just be natural. Well, here's the not being a sellout trophy. No, just something we shouldn't be anyway. We should always be on code with each other to where I don't care what I'm trying to do. You're not gonna make me. That's why I ain't saying the name. That's the very reason why I won't say the name, because I'm conflicted. And I'm trying to be just a small little piece, a microscopic grain of an example that the minister is. Because all of the people, let me let y'all in on what might be a secret to some of y'all about Minister Farrakhan. Of all the people, the black people, who have come out and attacked him or denounced him or repudiated him or turned their back on him or sat up on a national platform and said, well, no, he's there, or called him names that didn't really apply. Of all of those people, man, the minister ain't never clapped back like, he talking about me. He don't do that. He just be like, now in certain contexts he may mention certain person, but it don't be on some clap back type of stuff. It's when the situation calls for it, when it's a situation that calls for him to speak on it, and he still doesn't condemn the brother or sister who may say something about him in their ignorance or knowingly. He don't do that. That's kind of heart he got. That's why he's him and we us, because we clapping back. See? But he's the example that we should look at to go, man, if I can get my character to that point, and don't misconstrue it, that's not being weak. That's just being on code. Because one thing the minister ain't is weak. He ain't soft. He ain't weak. He ain't sissified. He ain't passive. He just love his people. So he'll give you that pass because he knows what you are controlled by. He understands your weakness, our weakness. He understands that. So he is merciful in his movement. He don't react. He don't just lash out and react because he like, I understand. When Barack Obama was running for president, they put him to the test. They hit him with the Farrakhan bomb. National TV, I saw it. I think Hillary was sitting right there too. They had them both there when they was running against each other. And they asked Barack about the minister, and he straight out, well, no, I don't. I don't remember the exact words, but he slid the minister. He sold him out so he could achieve his goal, which was to become the president, and he achieved it. But only when Barack was done with the presidency, he had done 2 terms, the minister spoke about or revealed a picture that he had taken with Barack Obama before Barack was making his run for the presidency, right? Now, if the minister was like a Negro, had the Negro mind, when that happened, see, this what one of us would have did. Barack Obama gets on TV and says, hey man, well, how do you feel about K-Rino? I don't support him. I don't appreciate the things he says. I denounce him. I don't support nothing he does. I'm not with that man. And the Negro and me gonna go, Oh, really? All right, well, hold on, bro. What about this picture? Did you support me when we were smiling taking this picture? And he would have never made it to the presidency. And I'm like, yeah, you wanna come for me? But the minister ain't built like that. He held that picture, man. Never said a negative word about that man. Let him make his run. Because whatever it was in any black man's mind that they had that they want to accomplish and achieve in life, the minister's like, go get it. Only afterwards did that picture surface. How many of us could have did that when the dude came out and said something about us? So he ain't the first one, male or female. Shout out to everybody who they tried it with, but they stayed solid. Because there have been a few brothers and sisters that stayed solid when they tried to put pressure on them about any affiliation they may have with the minister. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that stayed solid. I ain't say a lot, it's a few. All right, man, it's time for me to read what y'all talking about. Shout out to Lester Smith, man. Appreciate the love and the donation, Lester. I saw you earlier, but I was running my mouth and I didn't get a chance to shout you out, man. But much love to you as usual. I'm trying to go back a little ways. Aaron Davis Sr. says, I feel you, K. Some of us just trying to make it, man. You know, but the truth is we know it and see it daily. So we all in the pot trying to move a little before the water start boiling. Yeah, see, everybody's trying to make it, but see, Keith Sweat had a song a long time ago that said there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody. It's a right and a wrong way to make it, man. See, and everybody that's at the so-called top didn't get there honestly. They didn't get there righteously. A lot of people got a lot of blood on their hands. A lot of people got a lot of uh, skin on the bottom of their shoes from stepping on folks. A lot of skeletons in people's closets. It's a lot of things that people did to so-called make it. So all money ain't good money, and every position ain't a good position depending on the means through which you got it. I'm going back pretty far. God's dummy says if we don't make earnest moves towards real solutions, then each day we move one day closer to revolution and anarchy in this country. This is the sad and yet potentially joyous state of America. Well, the truth be told, man, revolution and anarchy is really already popping off on certain levels. It's already anarchy. We saw anarchy when they rushed in the Capitol building that time. Revolution, when you see these protests and go, see, revolution just means change. We trying to implement change based on conditions that don't favor us. They don't favor anyone in this nation. Because the dissatisfaction, see, this is what people don't understand, and people can take it how they want to take it. The dissatisfaction and mistreatment of black people affects the future of all people. Especially in this country. Because like I say, that tab, you ain't finna keep on doing black folks like that, man, and think it's gonna be sweet. It's that Guero M. People keep hoping that the world will get better, but it's not. It's only gonna get worse. We are in the end times. It's all prophesied in the Bible. That's true. Can't argue with that, man. When a man has a family, says Bill Silas, the Black Moses, when a man has a family, his objectives and perspectives change. Yeah, but they should change for the better. Like you a dope dealer and all of a sudden you find out your girlfriend's pregnant. Do you keep selling dope? I gotta make this money for my baby. Yeah, but you might get killed or incarcerated and you can't do nothing for your baby. You say, man, nah, I can't do this, man. I gotta be there for my child. All right, let me come up to the modern times. Adolphus. Assalamu alaikum, Brother K. This is Chris X, aka Drop X. Okay, I got you. I got you. Brother Chris, Oklahoma in the building. Gotcha, gotcha. Much love, Brother Chris. I'm just scrolling through the comments trying to find something that's going to blow my mind. Jimmy says slavery never ended. Just look at our foreign policy. Look at our domestic policy. I ain't gonna say it, Nine Lives. I don't say it. Because whoever the name is, see, this is a cut and paste type of situation because this has happened many times. So yeah, it's that guy today, but it'll be somebody else tomorrow. Bro, this is like those movies, man, like those gangster movies, or just where the people who sat at the table and ate your food, the people who hugged your girlfriend and rocked your children, they'll be the ones to betray you. It's like the movie you see the gangster movie where they shoot the man and kill the man, and they at the funeral hugging his mama. Too many of us have that cutthroat mentality where we'll betray somebody who ain't been nothing but good to us. We do that in just everyday life. The one person who's been there for you the most. I used to be a bail bondsman back in the days, right? And I don't know if I ever told this story, but I'm going to tell it today. At one point in my life, I worked at a bail bond company. And I used to see some weird stuff, some crazy weird stuff, man. And how one way I know where you can't put it past nobody to sell out or stunt on anybody, on you or you or you or you. This guy, we bonded this guy out, right? Young guy. And anybody who knows anything about the bail bonding business, okay, you get arrested. If you get a bond, okay, yeah, you eligible, you can get bonded out. So he had a bond. His mother got him out. His mother came to our company to get him bonded out. We got him out. And once you get bonded out, whether you in jail or not, when you in jail on bond, you have a court date. So if you're on bond, then that's what bond is. You know, we're bonded together, us and the inmate and the system. And we got to make sure, everybody got to make sure that you go to court. The mother comes in and she signs the papers saying she's liable. Some people put up their houses and cars. If the bond is too much, they got to put their house up. And you see people risk it all for their children, man, and they husbands and stuff, man. You see it. And they always like, well, yo, he'll be in court. He'll be there. I'm going to make sure that he goes to court. Because we had to be like firm, like, well, ma'am, his court date is on the 6th. We need all these references. You got to make sure he's going to be in court, or they're going to come get it. You have to be firm. Oh yeah. Oh yes, yes sir. He's going to be in court. We're going to. Okay, cool. Get this guy out. Court date come. Hello. It's the court. This is such and such from court 239, and you guys have a guy under y'all's bonding, whatever. He hasn't shown up yet. He was on the docket for 8:30, and thank you. Now you got to try to start calling this dude's mama and these dude's references to try to find out why this guy ain't went to court, because now everything is a mess, right? Long story short, I called his mother. Ma'am, I don't even remember his name. Ma'am, Billy Bob didn't show up to court today. Is everything all right? You know, they giving him some grace because they called us. If you can get him there, he'll be fine. She had no idea. She was at work. Well, I dropped him off. He was supposed to be going to court. Okay. She calls him on the three-way. So it's me, the dude, and his mother on the three-way. And I'm like, hey, man, why you not at court? You got to be in court. They waiting on you. But it had got to the resolution date. He had already been to court a few times, but it was getting to where it's going to hit the fan. He's going to find out if he's going to go to jail or not. The dude straight up said, man, I ain't going to jail, man. I ain't going to jail. So I say, so what are you saying? Man, I ain't going to. So you skipping out on court on purpose, right? So I say, you going to do your mama like that? You wasn't acting like that when you was trying to get out. And his mama's on the phone. I can't remember the name. Billy Bob, you need to go to court. Don't do that. His mama done put up all this money and put herself in a tight situation. So right then and now, I was like, man, these people, they're selling on mama out. Now you did the crime. And even though you are guilty of what you did, your mama still got you out, because there's certain parents that, did he do it? You got, son, did you do it? Yeah, Dad, I did it. All right, good luck. Now, if you ain't do it, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight for you. That man told me and his mama that he wasn't going to jail. Therefore, he wasn't going to court. So if a person will do that to their mama, come on, man. I don't even remember what ended up happening behind that. I don't know if they got him. Sure they did. But the point I'm making is that the moral to that story is that when you're comfortable, you kick your feet. Everything is sweet when you're comfortable. The true measure and character of a person is how they react in a hostile environment. When it's not comfortable, when it is pressure, when there are people, when you're the only one in the room that rocks with this person, and the heat is in there, like, do you jump over and say, oh, I'm with them? You slide away? Because we talk a lot of talk in safe quarters. Talk a lot of talk in safe quarters. We always talk about what we'll do. If that was me, I'd do this, I'd do that. I try not to never get in the habit of always boasting about what I would do in certain situations. When you see certain things on social media and you watching it, it's messed up, and you say, man, that was me, boy. If that was me, if I was there, I wouldn't. You might be telling the truth. You might, if that was you and you was there when it happened, you know yourself. You might have did what you said you was going to do, but you might not. So just hold your sword. And when the time comes, you pray that you have the courage to do the right thing, whatever the right thing might be. Because it's easy to sit at home looking at a computer and say what you would have did or what somebody should have did. And true enough, there's certain things that we know. We know, well, yeah, I wouldn't let that happen. You see some cats jumping on an old lady like, yeah, okay, you know what? Whatever got to go down that day, it just got to go down that day. I can't let that happen. But some of this stuff, I ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing. Dollar Bill is in the building. OGKO is in the building. So the things that this world offers us as a reward is almost the equivalent of giving a dog a treat for good behavior. Sit. Good boy. Here's a treat. Roll over. Good boy. Here's a treat. That's how they do black folks in this country. Go on TV, denounce Farrakhan. Good boy. Here's a treat. Big Ock is in the building. Character is who you are when nobody's around. I've been hitting y'all with a lot of little slogans and sayings tonight, I know. But it all applies, man. Character is who you are when nobody's around. So if you cooking food, if you got a family function and you cooking for everybody, and while you cooking, one of the beef patties fall face down on the floor, but nobody saw it. Are you gonna look around and pick it back up and scoop it back on the thing, or you gonna throw it away? Character is who you are when nobody's around. But also, we can't move around with the mindset that we smarter than everybody else, because we're not. It's always somebody that's going to check you. It's always somebody that's going to correct you. It's always somebody that's going to be able, that's going to have a deeper knowledge base on a particular subject than you have or that I have, that you're not going to be able to pass over no BS. That's why I always tell y'all, like when I do open topics, I always say the same thing. I always preface it the same way before I start. Hey, man, y'all ask me a question. If I know the answer, I will give the answer. If I don't, I will simply say, I don't know. Because too many times we like to try to act like we smarter than what we really are. It's all right to just not know. Then go try to find out. See, that's how we make ourselves look stupid. I was watching Rick and Morty one night. I like Rick and Morty. I was watching Rick and Morty one night, and Rick said something. He said, yeah, that's he's like he just made up a name. And everybody started laughing. Yeah, yeah. He said, what y'all laughing at? I just made that up. It ain't no such thing as that person. That's when people try to act like they know stuff that just don't know about. Y'all can't get on here and say, hey, K-Rino, what do you think about the graphlomatic spectrum? And I go, oh yeah, that's a deep concept because see the graphlomatic spectrum, it exists in a realm that it's y'all just made that up. I'm gonna say the graphlomatic. I don't know. I never heard of that. What is it? But we feel like it's some kind of downgrade to us if we don't know everything. Hey man, you can't know everything, man. It's too much infinite knowledge in the universe. You're not gonna get it all, bro. You're not gonna get it all, man. But also, when you know a good man, a good person, man, and you are seeing him being just attacked, when you see that attack being levied at that person, you are seeing that attack for a reason. It's not just by chance that you are seeing this unfold. You are being tested in that moment to see how you're going to react when you see that kind of attack being issued out against somebody that you know is not worthy of that attack. They're not deserving of that. And especially if they put a camera or a microphone in front of you, it ain't no circumstance, no camera or microphone that could be placed in front of me that's going to make me denounce Minister Farrakhan. It's just not going to happen. And if it do happen, man, hey, man, I get whatever I get. And it don't have to be Farrakhan. See, people can say something to you about somebody else. They could say something to you about somebody in the hood. But even if what they say about that person in the hood, even if it's true, right? Your relationship and connection to that person might be something totally different. And it might be totally foreign to what they saying. So the person that they saying is not, it's not describing the person you know. It's like, well, man, he never came at me like that. I mean, so at the very least, that's what I'm gonna give you back. I'm gonna be like, well, man, you know what? I don't know him like you might know him. And I'm not denying that what you're saying could be true. I'm just saying on the level I know, he ain't never came at me like that. I mean, I'm not saying, well, no, man, yeah. All right, man, look, I'm not saying that you didn't have that experience. But if you're trying to get me to jump on board to start shooting slugs at him with you, I can't do that because I don't know that side of him like that. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But some people would just jump on board. Y'all see, I knew it was somebody, man. Man, yo, you know what, man? Hey, and yeah, if somebody says something, this and that, like you gonna think about it. And okay, now I may even put a guard up, like, okay, well, yeah, okay, well, I'll watch him, but I'm not gonna participate in the piling on. I'm not gonna do that, man, because you might be lying. The same way you might be telling the truth, you might be lying about that man. See? So with the minister, all they do is lie on him. That's all they do. They've lied on him for decades. They've been lying on him since 1984. When he first hit like the national scene, you first started hearing about Farrakhan on a national level when he came to the defense of Jesse Jackson, when Jesse Jackson was running for president back in 1984. That's when you first seen Farrakhan. When he first came out the shadows, he was standing up for Jesse Jackson. They was talking about making assassination threats on his life and all this different stuff. And that's when you first start. And they were lying on the minister then. Been lying on him for decades. And if you ever been lied on, Oh, you know the feeling of when somebody lie on you and you know you ain't do what they said that you did? I might have did that, but I ain't do that. What about when you, yeah, that was true, but I ain't do that. And somebody lie on you, and what's even worse when somebody lie on you and then the person they tell a lie to, they believe the lie. That's the worst. That's the worst, man. So imagine getting lied on national TV for 40 years. Everything they say about you is a lie. And your history and your actions totally are the opposite of the person that they telling the world that you are. He's a liar. But every time I see him, he's telling the truth. He's a hater. He hates, he's racist. Now, every time I see him, he's showing love to all people. Now, he'll get on your case if you're wrong. He promotes violence. Ain't none of his followers ever harmed nobody. What are you talking about? So at what point do we pivot our heads and start looking at the people that's telling all these lies? Wait a minute. Everything you say about this man, his actions show the opposite. But yet in 2023, we still got people that'll say, well, y'all, Farrakhan's an anti-Semite. And you repeating stuff that you heard them say on TV. Don't even know what the definition of the word is. Farrakhan praised Hitler. No, he didn't. Telling all these lies he been telling on this man. Farrakhan killed Malcolm X. No, he didn't. Your government did. He'd be in prison if he did. If they could prove that he did, if they know so definitively that he did, and he's the most hated man on the planet, oh, they'd have been came and got it. Drop y'all locations, man. Yeah, getting lied on ain't fun, man. Drop y'all location. Let me shout y'all out. Hey, Cherie. Is your name Sherry or Cherie? I want to be mispronouncing people's names. Big Op. Come on, man. Spikey said, I feel like you staying silent is a form of selling out. It is. That would be like if you saw somebody, because we live in the no snitching era. But somebody get accused of murdering somebody, and you know they didn't do it. And you just sit there and just, did he do it? I don't want to get involved in it, man. You cost that man his life. You cost that man his freedom if you did that. We just too scary. We scary, or we still follow the liars. Okay, it's Cherie. Okay, gotcha. I didn't want to be saying your name wrong, because I will mispronounce a name. And I should know better. As many times I get called K-Rino. Hey, how much money do y'all think I would have if I had $1 for every time somebody called me K-Rino? Urban Theater is in the UK. Save Soliloquy is in New York. Phantom Face Final in Columbus, Ohio. KSUE is in Temple. Big Ock in the South Bronx. Jimmy in Alabama. 0102 Drought. Is that, what's that? Tennessee to Old Texas. Joshua Plus, Big VA 757 in the building. I'm just going to say Overwatch. BC, Canada. Jimi Hendrix, traveling the country, train to train, Springfield, Mass. Spikey is out there in Huntington Park, California. Angelo in Dallas Fort Worth. Zigzag in Avon, Colorado. Avon. That's where the home of the Avon lady. Anna Monarchy out there in Ontario. Join Ramo 59 South. Kyle out there in Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. Brother D. Nail in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm give you that fist back. Chris Shipes in Morristown. 59 South, that's a freeway. That's a freeway in Houston, Jimmy. You either go 59 South, 59 North, 45 South, 45 North, 610 North, South, East, or West. Joshua says silence is a form of agreement. Ooh-wee. That's deep. If somebody tell you that they listen to K-Rino, my favorite rapper is K-Rino. I'm not their favorite rapper. Trust me. Because if I was your favorite rapper, you're going to know how to say my name. Ram B is in Laredo. I'll be in California one of these days, Roberto. Joe Jones in the building. Rolling on them big rigs. Yeah. Yay. Well, the main idea of the story, man, is that this world cannot offer you anything right now, man. And anything that they can give you is temporary. What's gonna be sustainable is what you get through legit means and what you can take ownership of. That they can't take it away from you. See, anything they give you, they can take it away. They say the Lord giveth and the Lord take it away. So do the devil. The devil giveth and the devil taketh away too. He said that's when the news would call, like when the news would call Tupac. Tupac Shaker, controversial rapper Tupac Shaker. I heard somebody say that. I didn't make that up. I heard somebody call Tupac Shakur Tupac Shaker. Glandor is in Toledo, Ohio. God's dummy, you in Lufkin? That boy out there in old Luff Rock. Yeah, man. Good old Lufkin. Larry Elder said Tupac Shaker. Tupac Shaker, with this controversial new album, was arrested today. If you want to be in good favor, man, never let people intimidate you into telling you who you should support or not support. Especially when you know that it's a good person. See, it's one thing if you just disagree with somebody. If your ideology and your philosophy is just, I just don't agree with what he's talking about. I don't have nothing against the man. I just don't agree with it. That's one thing. It's another thing when man, you done seen. See, some of these Negroes, man, they been around the minister. Some of them done ate at his table. Some of them have been in closed quarters with the minister. And one of the main things that I hear people talk about when they talk about Minister Farrakhan, that to me is one of the best uh, compliments that you can give a person. This is one of the best verifications of a person's authenticity as a person. When you hear somebody say, hey, nah, man, he's the same person off the camera as he is on the camera. He's the same person in closed quarters as he is when he's on stage giving a lecture. He's the same person at home around his family as he is when he's at the rostrum delivering a message, delivering a sermon. When you are when you the same, when you're not turning something on and off, when you don't have to go and become somebody before you walk into a room, you an authentic person. Too many people got to put on a face. Too many people got to lock into a character. Okay, let me become K-Rino now. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Now I'm K-Rino. Now I'm K-Rino. I wasn't him 2 seconds ago. Now I'm K-Rino. Come on, man. Watch the movie called A House on the Bayou. All right, man. I appreciate the love, man. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.